What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Core Podcast, episode 59, where we'll be listening to your stories from the world. How you doing, Johnny?
I'm good. You?
My chin's cold.
Oh, after your little shaving escapades?
Yeah, for those that don't know, you'll have to watch back. I shaved.
Oh,
I shaved. Little baby
Like
face.
Kirby.
And straight out the back, we got Heather hanging out with us. How you doing, Heather?
hey, Kirby and Johnny, how are you?
This thing is stuck. There we go. How
I
are you
have
doing
to
this
say,
afternoon?
this is growing back pretty quickly, though.
I've got a whole slide about the beard update.
Oh yeah, did we do like a photo every day? Right, we talked about that, I think, with Brad, and
Yeah, it's
photo
every week at the
day
moment.
could be kind of fun. Yeah.
I mean, Brad is in the chat there already.
Hey,
How you
Brad.
doing, Brad? How's your chin feeling? And Rachel joining us as well. Thank you for joining us.
That's awesome.
Yes.
No, it's
Johnny
good
and
to
I-
see you guys. Good to see you guys again. So
Yes.
soon after returning
mean-
from Nashville.
If you think about it, World was last month already.
Thanks for putting it that way.
Yeah, thanks, Kirby.
Or we're a month closer to next year. I'll go the glass half full
Nice.
route. No, just kidding. No, you know what? It was, and it takes a week or so to recover from the event.
Yes, it does. I mean, I nearly missed my plane because I fell asleep in the waiting for it.
Nice. It travels without me and he nearly misses a flight.
We returned, and then we have our customer event happening this month because it's March 1st. So we've actually shifted, all of our efforts go to 3D Experience World, and then we come back, we reset, and then we move on to our customer event. It used to be a long time ago, our event used to be the same week, the day after SolidWorks World. We would host it in the same location because it made it a lot easier for our customers that were on site to attend DriveWorks World. But now our customer base is so large, we do it as a global, conference now. And anyway, so we're all in on that right now. But it was a great chance for us to be together.
Yes.
I mean, aside from seeing you and Johnny, it was great to spend time with my team.
I know. I mean, like, the whole point of today's episode is Johnny and I broadcast our entire world journey. Everything we got up to, you basically saw apart from the After Dark stuff, but we spoke about that anyway. So what I really wanted to talk about is, the people that we hung out with. You disappeared and you had your own experiences of world. And we want to hear your stories, kind of,
Sure.
what I guess I'll start with the first question that I have that I think those in the chat can answer as well was, what was your only at world moment?
It's a good question.
My only at world moment?
Yes. Those in chat can answer that as well. If
That's
they'd like to.
That's a really good question, because from the time I get there to the time I leave, it's almost impossible for me to get from point A to point B without taking 25 minutes. And it could be 20 feet across the expo hall. And so I don't know, there's so many things professionally speaking, having a chance to see customers, being with my team, but I don't know, the running group. I know you can all roll your eyes about that, but where else do I get to run with a global running community that's like so many different people that would never have a chance to be together if not for this event? So I'm going to stick with that one for now.
Okay. Generally, the question that I asked was, this whole episode is basically Johnny and I, we broadcast our entire journey. So we want to hear your stories from World. And the first question I've been asking is, what is your only at World moment?
Oh, let's see. Only
It's a
at
good one.
world. I mean, this happens to me all the time, no matter where I go, but it's really only at world where I'm just like, I feel like the little person in like a forest of sequoia. Like everyone's bigger than I am. And I'm always like looking upward. So I don't know how you feel about it, Heather, but like,
Yeah.
I just feel like when I walk around, I'm constantly cocking my head up. Everyone's taller than me. But no, in reality is like, I'm naturally very introverted. So it exhausts me when I interact with people.
Yeah.
But I think world is the only place where it's actually like a nice exhaustion. Whereas like if I went to a wedding or some random thing, I'd be like, please, I never want to come back again. But here it's like I can't wait for next year again, even though every night I collapse in bed, So it's that's the kind of awesome, even though it's exhausting, we get to talk to friends and people for the first time, and they're excited to be there, and it's very recharging.
Yeah, like I feel very much the same. That it's recharging your social your passion battery. I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you want to go back, you want to do stuff, you want to be a part of things, and that. I'll ask you the same question. So basically, Jonny and I are talking about World. Our entire experience has been broadcast, so we want to hear your stories. And what is your only at World moment from this year?
My only at World moment?
Yeah, kind of the moment that you thought to yourself, this could only happen at World.
Oh dear Lord! Do I get more than a second to think about it?
Oh, you can have a little think about it. I mean, for me, I think Jonny might share the same thing. It's like the only place that we get, full reign of a massive channel and trusted to just do our own thing, and we had a lot of fun with it. Plus, we got to watch a mech move around.
Yeah,
They're absolutely bananas. It was really, really fun. How was your guys' journeys home though? That's always a fun excitement. I nearly missed my plane because I fell asleep waiting for it.
well, I think we actually got really, really lucky, right, Chinlu? We arrived at the airport with time to spare, and we knew the weather was going to come in from the west and probably screw up our flight. And the airline was like, "All right, folks, we're boarding now. It's early, but we're boarding now." Like they got us hustled out, and I was expecting just like a torrential downpour and turbulence all the way, and they got us out right before, and I fell asleep on the flight home. It was amazing.
I mean, they're great. They're hilarious. They're just like, if you have a friend who just went off and to get like something to eat, tell them to come back right now. We're boarding now. And it's like, all right,
That's
let's
mad.
do it.
Yeah. Did you guys leave on the Thursday then?
Yeah,
we did.
Oh yeah. We were when we were in Lynchburg. We got a tornado warning, and we were to go hunker down in the bathroom with our cocktails. It was great.
Oh, that must have been fun.
It was good fun. Then we pulled out Matt's gun.
Yeah?
We were taking pictures with it. It was great.
I think I saw something like that.
Yeah, I love the picture you guys took of you like in the shower, like you were trying to protect yourself in the tub. That was good.
There was a tiny
It's always fun to see what people bring into the emergency shelter, right? Grab the Jack Daniels, right? It's kind of like leave the gun, take the cannoli, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was a tough choice, but I think we made the right choice. But yeah, since we are on the topic of drinking, I might as well play a little game. What are we drinking? I don't know if you guys, Chinlu and Sol, you've been here. We're going to play a little jingle with that. We need to update this with new photos. Shing. What are they drinking?
I love it. That's great.
We'll start down there. What was that?
I don't know the name of the drink, but I think I know. Was that done at the Cad Monkey? That photo?
Oh, that was years ago. No, but we're going to be discussing what we're drinking right now.
Oh, right now.
Yes.
I wanted to guess what you were drinking in the picture.
No. So, what are you drinking?
You just want me to show you, or is there a guess that needs to happen?
Oh no! You just tell us. We discuss it.
Water.
I know, boring
And all of my ice is melted.
Water and ice.
I feel like we got to do this a lot later because it is like what 3 o'clock.
Water.
Yeah,
I've got water. It's 1 o'clock for me. So yeah, water here too, by the way.
You can have a lunch whiskey or a lunch wine.
At
Lunch
dinner
beer.
time, I would have had a glass of wine, but yes, it's too early.
Brad's got coffee. Jonny, what are you drinking?
New Zealand IPA.
Nice.
Does it have a fancy like craft beer arty label?
It does. Would you believe
It looks fancy.
Kia Ora.
Kia Ora.
Cool.
It's not bad.
What have I got? Mine's quite funky as well.
Oh,
It's,
fancy. Oh, you got some of that
Crackberry.
cider.
By Bishop Cider. This was from Texas, I think.
It looks like one of the characters from Mr. Do. Remember that video game?
No. See, Brad's always down for a lunch whiskey. But yeah, it's good to be back. I was just saying that technically, World was last month. So headers out look as we're a month closer to next year, which I think we're all really looking forward to, and just looking forward to just doing crazy things and learning more. What was your guys' takeaway from World? What did you like take away and kind of thought that's going to change your workflow or change the way you're going to do things? I'm sure Chinler and Sal, you guys walked away inspired, hanging out with so many interesting creators and that.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, we've got so many. Our list kind of doubled in size. Things we thought we would do this year, they're all getting jumbled around now because we've got new inspiration from the things we saw, the people we spoke to. We're very excited about the next 12 months.
Yeah, I don't know if you. Anyway, I don't know if you guys saw the furniture in the Maker Zone. It was all made out of cardboard, and like the first thing we said was we need to make something out of cardboard. And then like before we left, Luke and Karen had, for some reason, I still don't understand why they had a giant pile of cardboard. And so I was like, oh, we'll bring that home. And poor Rachel got to drive it home in the car that they drove down in. So
yeah, we had a colleague driving, so
now we have a stack of
cardboard in her car.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So the cardboard furniture that was in the makerspace was right across from our booth. And what we should have done was had a camera rolling, because every person that sat was tentative when they first sat in. Like they were like, they just were just that much kind of unsure. Like, did I put that extra 10 pounds on at Christmas and not take it off before World? And so, but it was sturdy. I mean, we tested it. We had to QA it ourselves, but
that must have been really fun to watch.
There was a few people that we watched. Yeah, it was just but it was functional. People sat and had meetings there.
You guys had the lounge and the rocker in front of you too. Like I was pointing people to sit on the rocker. Like it actually was a rocking chair made out of cardboard.
Well, that was the funny one because it moved. So when people sat on it for like that 1 second, they were like, this is it. I'm getting punked, or, whatever. But it was really functional. I thought it was fascinating. Well done to that. But the makerspace is always a cool area to drop into. And I never have enough time. We're always very busy in the booth. And I didn't even get to spend enough time in the hallway hangout as I had wanted to. But that's a good problem to have.
I managed to pull out 17 episodes from all of that I'm trickle feeding, and there is an episode with you, Heather.
Oh, good.
Hanging out. I've got an episode with Chinlu and Sel yourself, kind of like lined up. I've got to figure out what order I'm going to release them in.
Awesome.
But I remember being in the meeting when they were saying, they got this cool company that's going to supply the tables and the chairs and that stuff for all this making that you guys and this mess you're going to make that's going to be made out of cardboard. And Luke was like, do you know how messy resin is? And you want it on cardboard.
I know. We're like, well, we just can't get it wet. He's like, you are going to get it wet. But they worked it. It worked out. They had like a piece of cover sheet that wasn't even really necessary. I think people were overly cautious.
Luke's personal workshop, he uses that stuff all the time. Even if I'm working at my desk, what I use is cling film. And I'll wrap my desk in cling film and work, and whatever super glue I mess or anything I mess, it doesn't make a hole in my desk like the one that's over here, where I messed hot glue. It means you can just bundle it up and throw it out. But yeah, he turned that little spot into a nice space, and it was really cool to see a lot of the official accounts actually sharing it and making things. Quite often you see the machines busy doing their things, but this is the one time that you're able to make it. And I feel like Luke really knocked it out the park, because if I had organized it and that, I would have just brought one color resin and that was it. Great, that was it.
The instant they cracked open those metal powders and the sprinkles, oh my gosh, you got people that was like, they'll be making it and they say, oh, I need to come back to make one of those. And it was like you had many people that came back to do repeats, me included, but that was really cool. They did a really good job.
So did you make some stuff? So some resin coasters?
Yeah, I think actually a few of my colleagues.
I think we made 3 or 4 together, but like we came home with a dozen because I think there were a bunch that were left over, and we're gonna spread them around the offices at SolidWorks.
Yeah, you spread some of our coasters as well if you got some.
I still have them. I have your coasters.
Did you make? You said you didn't get a chance to make anything, Heather.
No, but we got to see a lot of people doing it, and we had a lot of good conversations with. We have a lot of people on the booth, Kirby. Our place is like a party, So we had a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, every time I walk past, was quite busy. But going from World in pre-pandemic to post-pandemic, and seeing kind of how they've changed a little bit, like it felt close. It was quite nice. Previous one, the event space felt very big and open because they had all their side doors open. They kind of like confined into that one little area. How did you feel about, this World being like slightly smaller but more intimate?
I've got something to say about that, Kirby.
Go for it.
I thought it was actually awesome. I mean, I did miss that we didn't have the same numbers that we would have had in the past, but I think that if there were benefits, right? I mean, lunch was always fast, and the fact that they kind of moved things around, and the SolidWorks live stream was out in the hallway. That just kind of made it feel even more animated than seeing thousands of people walking through the hallway. You had lots of cool visual things going on. I think it was great. And you had more time to do these kinds of activities. Imagine if we had as many people as we had in the past trying to go through the makerspace and have a try at doing the molding and casting. I think there were some benefits to it. I loved it.
Yeah, it felt busy, but it felt intimate to me. I feel like you did get a chance to say hello to a lot of people. In 2020, during the special event, we couldn't find really anybody. We were kind of sat in one spot, and we didn't really see many people. But this year, we just happened to see so many people. I don't know if it's between then and now. Jonny and I know a lot more people. It was really good fun. But we missed the running of the nerds.
Yeah, I missed that too.
I wanted to kind of tack on to what Sal said because, Sal, Chin-Lu, myself, this is my 15th year at this event. And we've been to events previous years where there's been 120 vendors inside the partner pavilion. And there's been like 3 or 4 product areas. And the site is so massive that you don't get a chance to see everything or do everything. And this year, people noticed, there was a smaller profile of exhibiting partners, but I feel like that contributed to more intentional conversations. You had a chance to go see people and you had those conversations that you might not be able to have when there was so much to do, right? I think for me, having seen it at its largest and then seeing this event, I'm personally a big fan of that relationship and having a chance to just slow down and have those conversations. And so I actually felt like it was there was quality there. Not that there hasn't been quality in the past, because who doesn't like a big show? But I felt like given the pandemic and everything we've been through together as a community, I felt like it was nice to be able to take a minute and just talk to people and not be so overwhelmed by the size of it. That's just me.
I mean, in my kind of like an experience of mine, I always talk about on a journey. Here's it all the time. I went to a pilot festival, which for Download Festival, usually it's 100,000 people. The event we went to was 10,000 people. It was much smaller. It was the middle of COVID, so everybody had to take bunch of COVID tests, but just to get entry. And that was interesting because you got to experience the same music, but you could get closer. You could go all the way to the front, and it felt a lot more intimate, and it was really nice. And going back to, the really big event, it was, we had just as much fun, but we missed because we spoke with a lot of people. We got to see the same people over and over, and like, we hang out in the bar with one guy, and then, an hour later we see him in the crowd, and we carry on our conversation. So at a larger world, you may have a conversation that you don't get to finish, but at least this time you were able to kind of catch up and carry on those conversations.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I just kept catching myself saying, "Oh, remember last year when we did this?" And I was referring to 2020.
Mm-hmm.
We all did that.
It was amazing. It was as if no time had passed when I talked to
That's
different
very
people.
true.
It was just really nice to kind
And
of.
none of
feel
us
like
have
it was-
aged at all.
Not at all.
Absolutely.
Not at all. I saw Chin Lu on the last day, and she's like, "I've been trying to come see you all week," and we were only 50 feet from each other. But because the event, there was so much buzzing around those spaces when people were in there. It was great. I mean, I felt like it was.
I mean, as Brad says, he made better connections this year, and I feel like we did the same. I mean, Jonny and I got to sit down with Manish and, not only just do the one chip challenge, but he posed a question to us and being like, "You're the CEO of SolidWorks, and you want this basically have the browser-based software in SolidWorks, kind of why would you want to put it in there? Why would you want it there?" And we were just kind of like, okay, cool, this is going on now. And we had a fantastic conversation about kind of what us as makers really want in SolidWorks. And, so many of those kind of conversations of people that you get 5 minutes, you got to have those longer discussions. And I think Manish was just so excited to see us shave our beards.
Well, that was a highlight.
That was the highlight.
I mean,
He was
Corey-
so proud.
Yeah,
saw
Corey
him
Media
that
says, following up with the new man
Yeah.
that showed up in my house post 3DX World. I cried when he showed up, but not
It
because I
was-
missed the beard. She was just so proud.
I know, it was so hilarious. Like, I was together with a bunch of UXers just saying goodnight in front of the Omni. And there Manish was. He had just finished talking to a bunch of like executives and like very professional. He comes over, he's like, "Oh, you guys have to see this. Did you guys see this?" And it's almost like he was going to show us like either his kids' pictures or the pets. So, and then it was just a picture of him shaving the two, like putting a shaver on your face. I'm like,
great.
"Oh, that's really nice, Manish. She's so proud."
Yeah, like he was so happy. Like he knew from the start that they're donating a massive sum, 30,000 to Magic Wheelchair. I knew on the Monday, but I was kind of like, "Are we going to make a count or not?" And then spoke with Brad. He said he'll make a count, and I was like, "You know what? I'll join you on it." I've actually got a beard update for everybody who wants to see kind of our current progress.
Is it already back?
Yep.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Oh my
That's-
gosh.
Wow.
Nice.
Mine, there's a lot there. It's just very white. Like there's a lot more white hair coming out than I'd previously expected.
I
But
like that you both
Wow.
did the same pose.
I know. I was going to say, you guys have to
I
see this work.
know.
Was that choreographed or no?
not really. Brad sent it to me, and I kind of did the photo, and I also noticed like, oh, it's the same pose. But yeah, the beards, they're growing back. Like hair grows back. It was for a good cause. It created a lot of hype and build up, and a lot of people were talking about it, which I think was the important part. Not just saying these guys are going to shave their beards; they're shaving for Magic Wheelchair.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you guys did that. The amount of exposure that you're giving to that organization that's all about inclusion. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of the organization. I'm proud to be part of it. So, rock on.
Yeah, it
I
is.
was gonna ask Brad, like, I think I overheard him saying that his kids never saw him without a beard. Like,
No.
how did that happen? Like, what happened when you got home? Like, oy,
I would like to know how that. He apparently had to send like a letter to work to explain what happened, why he shaved his beard, because he didn't have the time to tell every person to ask a question. Why'd you shave your beard?
That's great.
Yeah, I just turned up at work and people were like, what have you done?
Yeah, but with you never know what you're going to do, so it's all right.
No, it's just,
It was Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right.
How did the
Yeah.
hot chip contest go?
it was interesting. It was hot. It was quite stale, I must
You
admit.
know what?
Well, I mean, it was 3 years old, right? Whatever it
Yeah,
was, 2
it
years
wasn't
old.
the freshest.
Oh,
No. No.
But
No.
there was some danger rumbles going in my tummy afterwards. It was a bit warm,
Yeah.
and I was a bit kind of like, I don't like this feeling. It hurts.
I don't
but
like it.
we survived it.
I don't
I'm
really
actually-
think you could look for a quality chip anyway. Like, I don't think the chip was, would have been good fresh either, but it had been passed around to people
No,
that didn't
I
want
think
anything to do with it.
I think the next time you guys do a contest, I would love to see you guys do like the stinkiest, not spiciest, like eating a durian or like
why
know,
are we
some
trying to
fermented
torture people?
egg.
This is really helpful.
come on.
Now we
That's
need
the only
to
way.
create
Chinley,
a
you got
challenge.
really excited about that. Like,
Oh, that's
Well-
because I've seen that happen. And
Well, I
not
think
everyone...
what she basically said is she volunteers to be a participant.
Oh, you guys don't want to come up against me when it comes to queer foods. I am the queen. I will eat whatever.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Sal.
Oh God, no.
I'm gonna have to find
if it-
some.
peanut butter and jelly. We'll have a peanut butter and jelly contest.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Oh, now you got me thinking. That sounds good because I'm going to be doing the hot sauce challenge again. I think next weekend.
Why?
It was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it.
Danger rumbles are not fun.
Yeah,
Danger rumbles.
yeah. I think we're still trying to figure out if Johnny's food poisoning was from the diner or from all the hot stuff.
Yeah, it's a.
I go
it's a
with the
mystery.
diner.
You need
I
the
think diner.
the foghorn is what we usually do. Like beetle. That noise is when you have to. That's our danger rumble. You have to run off. You remember the foghorn noise, Sal? We used to
Oh,
do
yeah.
that.
If you give me a couple of minutes, I can get a foghorn sound going. I don't have this much of this power in at World because I don't have all the software, but
Or
I've
you
got
don't have your
everything.
switchboard. There you go.
Yeah, I've just got to pop it all in. What are you guys looking forward to the most being in Texas next year? Because for me, it's the armadillo racing.
Yeah, Kirby loves
Oh,
slapping armadillos.
gosh.
Nice.
More of this, more of hanging out, more of being together.
We have to get another hat.
You know what I really like? Nashville is great because you've got that one party street and everybody goes to different bars and you explore. What I really like about Dallas, Texas, is there really isn't any kind of places like that. Everybody just hangs out at the hotel bar, so you know where everybody is.
Yeah,
And it has more of that closer, intimate type of thing. So you can go off on your mission, you come back, everybody just ends up at the same bar. I really enjoyed that about Dallas last time.
That's a good point, because when you were in Nashville, if you went out on Broadway, you weren't going to find anybody. Like, it was just spread out, because there's so many bars and pubs.
Not only that, if you ever try to get to the roof at Luke Bryan, you've got to go like all the way to the top floor and then back down some other dodgy stairs to get onto the
I
rooftop.
thought it was just me. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we call that area Narnia.
Narnia. Love it.
So I have to jump off, but I wanted to thank you all thanks for hosting the Hallway Hangouts. You guys did a great community gathering for all of us to come in. Thanks for doing it virtually and then bringing us all back together.
I mean,
in
Johnny and
person.
I have been wanting to kind of do this a bit more and hang out more with people. I mean, as we're building the podcast and developing what we are actually doing here, we're starting to find it's more about hanging out with people. I feel like that's where we've found our little pocket of just kind of what we enjoy doing.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing it. And we'll do it again in Dallas. And many times before that here with you, but definitely
Yes.
in Dallas.
Yes. Well, before you go, let me play the.
Yes, that was it. That's the
Exactly
noise.
right.
That's where you need to go when you're like, I need to go to the bathroom.
Back in
Bye,
5.
Heather. I also have to.
Bye,
leave, sorry.
Chinlu. See you later, Sal. Bye, Johnny, Kirby.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks, guys. This was great. I was getting. You guys were mentioning how you were getting like sad, or what's the word someone was saying, missing out on having such great time, and then we left and it's like we couldn't
FOMO.
continue. Yeah, exactly. So
Fear of missing out.
this is good. I'm glad I got to catch up with you guys, but I also have a meeting I have to go to.
Oh dear.
Bye.
So lame.
I mean, Johnny, they are working.
We
It is
are. I
worth
know.
our time.
We're drinking water after all.
Yeah, drinking water on the clock.
Well, some sort of clear spirit.
Yeah, could be something. Rubbing alcohol.
True.
I need to wrap up in a few minutes too, but bye, Chinlu. I want to say two
Bye.
things. You asked about what I'm looking forward to in Dallas.
Yes.
Chinlu and I already sort of reached out to Matt and Jessica Long, two
Oh,
makers
very
that
nice.
were also in the Maker Zone. So I'm looking forward to spending some time with them either before or after World, try and sync up and just hang out with them. They're great. They're great
Yeah,
makers.
Matt's got an
good
awesome
fun.
like wood workshop.
Yeah.
And they live like 20 minutes outside of Dallas.
Yep. Yeah. So that's exciting. And then in
They've already
terms of
said they've already said they're going to take us to their farm and we're going to go blow things up.
Yeah, boy.
they have a farm to blow things up upon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
With what? Did they say?
Tannerite.
American freedom guns.
Ah,
Freedom guns and Americanism.
yeah, nice. And I was going to say about about your podcast, and I had a blast when we were in the hallway with you guys. I felt like I could sort of let my hair down. Oh, Dan Wagner's in the house.
Dan
Hey, everybody.
Swagner.
Yeah, it was great. And
Yeah.
it was awesome talking about your new maker journey. I mean, you guys are smashing it.
Absolutely smashing it, Sal.
I can't remember. I checked yesterday. What was your latest subscriber count?
I can probably check quickly.
What's your
We
channel
crossed
so
we
we can
crossed the
actually plug it as
400
well?
mark. That was
What's your channel name so we can plug it as well?
our next make.
I'm going there
Oh,
now.
next make. There we go. Yeah,
Once you get-
424.
424.
24,
Oh,
man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's up,
Absolutely.
everybody?
Dan, welcome.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sal.
Oh no, that's all right. No, that's all right. Yeah, I was just gonna comment that it's been quite the journey. We're I don't think we knew it was going to take this many hours every week to produce content, but we're learning a lot. We're having fun while we're doing it.
Yeah, each project you learn more and you bring that into the next project.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, I was watching you guys via the YouTubes until I had time and freedom to be able to join. So
Freedom.
You were in a meeting.
Freedom.
This is what you're saying.
freedom.
That was the key word.
Freedom.
What's going on? Have you guys got together since World? Is this the first stream or
Yeah,
first
first.
broadcast since World? Okay.
Yeah, first post-world stream. So that's why we wanted to get together and listen to what everybody got up to at World. And the first question I asked everybody was, Dan, what is your only at World moment? You know, a moment that you thought to yourself, this could only happen at World. It's a real doozy, isn't it?
It is a doozy. I felt like I had like several of those. This was one. I'd say two. I have two. The most impactful things for me at World. One was I told the story a couple times, but I sat down with I won't even name names, just one large customer, a user group that we have inside of one really large company, like hundreds of licenses of SolidWorks. Having breakfast with them, having a great conversation, and we talked about a project that we worked on with another company. We connected, large company A with large company B. Like, hey, that worked out really well. We got a lot from that. Thanks for doing that. That was cool. The two people sitting at breakfast with us worked at company B, and they were those guys. Like, randomly, out of the entire conference, out of anybody at any time we could have sat and had breakfast with, it happened to be the two guys from that company. Like, yeah, that was us. That worked out well. And I was like, well, man, I'm really happy we were saying positive stuff, because that that could have gone sideways.
Could have worked out not well.
Yeah, but that was like, man, only at World, like only here, nowhere else could that have possibly happened, and that was a pretty cool moment. The other one, Kirby and Jonny, I think you heard this story already, but the other one was we heard Jamie Siminoff, the guy that invented Ring, was that his name?
Yeah.
He talked about his whole process, why he created the Ring doorbell. He said, I wasn't trying to design a Ring doorbell. I was trying to make neighborhoods safer and solve problems. Like it had nothing to do with the doorbell. It's just like that was my goal. And it didn't click with me until then, but pretty recently, in the last 4 or 5 months, we were with my son at a cabin in like northern Pennsylvania, basically like pretty mountainous area. And he sleptwalk out of the house in the middle of the night, like unbeknownst to us, and walked out into the ice and the snow and stuff, and walked across the street in bare feet in a t-shirt. And at 3 a.m, he rang the neighbor's Ring doorbell. And that guy got the notification on his phone at 3 a.m. and woke up and was like, there's a 7-year-old at my door. There's a kindergartner at my door. And, called the cops, did the whole thing. And ultimately the cops came and woke us up and were like, hey, your son's not here. Your neighbor has him. Like your neighbor has your son. And that was like the most jarring moment of my entire life. Like that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And like it was crazy because I was in one bed and my wife and him were in the other bed in this room. And it was like, he said he couldn't find us. Like, that's why I got up and left. I couldn't find you guys. Like, buddy, we were in the room with you and you were literally like, next to mom. But like I think he just slept walk and got across the street and panicked and rang the neighbor's doorbell. But that connecting those dots was like, holy crap, man, without that ring, without that guy answering his phone, who knows what happens next? Like, I don't know who knows what happens, but again, seeing that guy and hearing that story, that was like, oh, that was really, really impactful. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy that something that you don't really kind of think about, and you see it from a different perspective of kind of what he was trying to create, and you got first hand of it. I mean, the shop around the corner from us got robbed, and police now just come up to everybody with a Ring doorbell and ask, do you have any footage?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, because of that, they're able to track where he went because it's very residential. They just followed him on people's Ring cameras.
Yep. Yeah, it's just crazy. And it's such a simple, I call it simple. It's not simple, but it's a simple idea. It's a doorbell with a camera, but
that connects to your phone.
Yeah. So pretty wild, but those were pretty cool moments to kind of experience.
I take it, Dan, your son's okay? Everything's good?
He's fine. He's good. Yeah. We, walked, and to put myself in the police shoes they don't know what they're going to find, right? Like when they come wake up, because when he left our house, he left the door open. So the police officer was able just to walk into our house and be like, hello. So he doesn't know what he's walking into. So he handled that well. And we were just kind of surprised by it. And he was all good. We went down and scooped him up from the neighbors, and nobody slept the rest of that night. And it was fine. So now, at least on where we live now, we put really high locks on all the doors.
Yep.
And I told him,
put a leash on him as well.
Well, I said that basically when we travel now. Have you guys seen Moon Knight at all yet? On I think it's on Disney.
No, not yet.
I won't ruin anything, but Moon Knight sleepwocks. I won't tell you any of the details.
I know the concept of his thing, but yeah.
He literally tethers himself to the bed at night. So I was like, we're gonna do that to you, dude, because I don't know what else to do.
Hopefully the police don't walk in on that.
Yeah.
More questions to ask.
Yeah.
Some jingle bells on his wrist or something,
Jingle bells. We went to Vermont this past weekend to ski for a couple days, and luckily the hotel had like a high lock, and then we also put ski poles up against the door. So at least if you tried to open the door, the ski poles would fall and make a bunch of noise. So
move the wardrobe in front of the door as well, just in case. Yeah.
So pretty crazy. Anyway, that was a pretty far left turn from World, but
I mean, Johnny, what was your personal only at World moment?
Taking over SolidWorks Live and doing hot spicy sauces at random.
Those were pretty cool moments, man. No doubt.
Yeah, I'm like, for me, it was meeting with David and having his little droid running around.
Yeah, that was good.
But
we got him in.
Like, I've often seen those droids running around at Comic-Cons, but this is the first time that I was able to kind of have time to talk to him and him just like open up the droid and be like, "This is how I've engineered and designed it." He actually on the second day he actually crashed his robot,
Yeah.
and the head exploded. So he reassembled it so that the mechanisms still work. Because it's like I was saying to him, it's like this is the one place that everybody here is going to appreciate that. They're going to love it. Like they love your droid, but when they see it, the inside of it, they're gonna really enjoy it.
I
And
also
that was
got
really
to watch
good.
the Super Bowl with Johnny. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
Oh,
Did you have to
loads of
did you have to
moonshine.
explain it every play?
Well,
No, I'm pretty good.
not to Johnny, to Jade. Yeah, like explaining it to Jade was cool. But I also felt like I'm getting to experience the Super Bowl through somebody who's not from the U.S.'s perspective,
Yep.
which I was like, man, this really is a spectacle. It really is just like a complete crazy
There's
thing.
like in the UK, we've got our big tournaments, the end of the UEFA League and the FA Cup and that stuff, but it's never as big of a, like you said, spectacle.
Yeah.
There's no like halftime show, and companies don't dump millions of dollars into advertising and that.
Yeah. Yeah, the Rihanna halftime show, it was pretty crazy. Although we left at halftime, Johnny, and then the Eagles lost. So I
Sorry, dude.
completely blame you
No,
and
to be,
everybody else.
we didn't leave. We relocated.
That's true.
I can't remember who I was talking to, but they were saying they wanted kind of like completely unknown and unrelated. They wanted GP to be like lowered down from the ceiling on a platform,
Yeah.
exactly like Rihanna.
Yeah.
But apparently, they couldn't get anyone to do it because they were all busy with the Super Bowl.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
He'd be up for that as well
Yeah, he would.
next year.
Next year.
next year.
Hopefully, not some superstars being lowered down on a platform. Dan, what are you looking forward to most in Dallas?
I definitely have a lot more perspective now. You guys already knew this. This was my first physical world as an employee. I've certainly been there a bunch of times. I think I was there 12 times as a reseller employee.
How was your expense report?
Wrong.
It's approved. I'll say that much. It took some back and forth, but it is approved. So my credit card will appreciate that pretty soon.
How many times did you have to put the words entertaining Kirby and Johnny?
A whole lot. There was actually, if I could show you guys, I wish I could pull up the picture, but from the special event night, if you remember, the special event closed, I think at 10 or 11.
Yeah.
It was early.
But
yeah.
yeah, it was pretty early, and it was a great time, by the way. Like that was awesome night, awesome event. But I didn't realize it closed, and suddenly I'm with all of you guys and the folks from Bowhead and like everybody else. I'm like, oh, okay. I had like 7 or 8 separate receipts just from that night, just from Tuesday night at Luke Bryan or wherever we were, and that was fun. I hear my dog like trying to beat down the door, but anyway, yeah, that's approved. So that's good news. For Dallas, I was just going to say, like, I have a lot more perspective, and I feel like I'll be a lot more mentally prepared. I was not mentally prepared for I thought World was a marathon before. Now I really know it's a complete, like,
Yes.
start to finish, 6 or 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. working. And I was averaging like 18,000 steps a day working on, in the hive and going back and forth. And then being out at night until whenever, every night was 12 to 2, somewhere in there. And by day 3, I just remember, yeah, thanks, Brad. We call it team building.
Team building.
Day 3, I saw Sim Gay, early that morning, and she was like, "Oh, my friend, you do not look good." And I was like, "You're like the third person who told me that today."
Dan, when a pregnant woman is holding up better than you after
I know.
all the same stuff,
I
was amazed. She's about almost in her third trimester at this point.
I mean,
Yeah,
Jade
she's
was pregnant as well, and she was
really?
out partying with us.
Oh
Yep.
wow!
Dude, she's
Yeah,
doing some dancing.
I definitely, I don't know, Kirby. I'm looking forward to having that perspective and being more prepared. I'll probably maybe not stay out as late every single night, 6 or 7 nights in a row, but we'll see. We'll see how that.
You say that, but it's like you just get carried away with all the team building.
Yes, it's a lot of team building for sure.
It's easy to over team build and then feel a lot of team building pain the next morning.
There was probably like when were we on main? That was Wednesday. Wednesday morning, I get on the elevator like to go to the conference, and I have two bosses. I have Suzanne, who knows my director, but also Matthew Forcade in SolidWorks is also my other superior. And I get on the elevator, and of course it's with Matthew, like me and Matthew. And Matthew's awesome. Hey, night, hey man, good morning, good to see you. And I go to talk, and nothing comes out. Like complete absence of sound. I'm like,
he's like, Dad, you don't have to be nervous around me. It's okay.
Yeah, he's always. I'm like, no, I have to talk on main stage in just a few hours, and I'm like, so at that point I started to freak out Wednesday morning, and I went and bought like tea and ginger ale and a bunch of stuff. And then it eventually worked itself out, but I was pretty concerned on Wednesday morning, for sure. It all worked out. Though.
It went well.
Yeah, we like I always say, you sleep on the plane home. Which I never really sleep on a plane, but I was out. I didn't even touch my screen. I woke up and we were landing. I was like, sick.
Sick.
Literally got on the train home, came in. I think I had some food, and then I slept again. Woke up, had food, and then slept for 12 hours. It was great.
Yeah, we had like a 13, 14 hours sleep when we got home.
Yeah, I was pretty quiet that whole week. I still feel like I feel it this week, coming back. But yeah, it was great, guys. And I think having you guys in the hive was the move. It just worked out so perfectly, and I would hope to look forward to that same exact setup in Dallas. Like same
Sure.
Excellent. I mean, we know Dallas Conference Center already, so we have a good idea of.
I asked a couple of people, do you recall or you remember? Does anybody have pictures of what Dallas looked like? Because I don't at all. I was there, but I don't even remotely remember like what the hive setup was.
Dallas was the first year they had the hive, so we spent a lot of time there, and that was the first time. That's where Jonny and I met.
Wait. You hadn't known each other prior to that?
No.
I thought you guys went to like grammar school together and threw rocks at each other.
We met last time. Whoa, Dallas.
Other UK things. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Wow.
No, we met at World, and that's kind of like why we're really passionate about this is that, especially at the conference, it's a good way for people to meet each other. I mean, the last episode was Amy, who was on main stage with me, and we had a fantastic conversation with her about education and bridges. And that was someone we had just met in the balcony, yeah.
Do we have a way? There's no way to transfer
that
files.
Balcony.
Okay. That balcony, yeah. We're still waiting for all of the pictures to come back, like all of the high-res pictures from the photographer, but some of the highlights are posted. There's one of you guys.
Of course.
Are we away?
Oh, you know where
we
I'll put it
managed
up.
to get a camera crew film us for a whole segment. It was great.
We need to do something with that footage.
I'll put it in WhatsApp for you guys here.
Now we are looking forward to next year, bringing back the hallway hangouts. We need to figure out a way to do it better. The audio worked well.
We struggled for seats, didn't we, Kirby, at one point or a couple of points?
Yeah, Jonny and I's plan was kind of like, when we get some quiet time, we'll get up and roam around. We were never quiet. We always had someone talking to us.
You were moving quite a lot, yeah. That's wrong.
Yeah. We pulled 17 episodes out.
Wow.
And then 17 like really interesting episodes. Where is it?
It's not filler, it's good stuff.
I had to get rid of filler for the first time.
I'm just seeing what other good pictures are in here. I see here's here we go. Here's one of Jonny.
You should be able to present if you want to show your screen, Dan.
I don't.
He's got too many like tabs open for expense reports.
I was gonna say all my expense reports are still open. Yeah.
Have you got enough screens?
No, I don't. There was not enough RAM on my computer to hold all my expense reports.
Yeah, because we got the one chip challenge, Impact Props, DriveWorks, Michael Lord and Jose, Joe Lanson, Betty Baker, Brad Media and Mike Puckett, Josh Mays and Anthony, Iron Swag, Hot Ones, Heather and Will, Dan, Wagner. We got a whole 22 minutes with you, Dan.
That was 22 minutes when we
Yeah.
talked.
Custom
That felt
Tools,
like-
Mark Johnson.
That felt like
Glenn.
3 minutes.
Kirby.
Oh, here's one of Kirby in your shirt. Your was that a Dragon Ball? What kind of shirt was that, Kirby?
Pokemon.
of course.
Pokemon, yeah,
Pokemon
right.
shirt.
What else do
I
you wear
thought-
on main stage?
Thought it was like Dragon Ball Z. All right, I just sent you 4 pictures anyway. If you want to see those.
Johnny, there's actually a picture of you not asleep.
That's what I was going to say. I actually am not like asleep or look really, really hungover in the front row.
Yeah.
Can't see. Because there's a photo, and they use it as like the official photo where Luke's on his phone, Karen's smiling, and Johnny's.
Wait, isn't that stock footage from a couple years ago? It looks like
Yeah,
an
it's not
identical-
one. It's one of the images they use
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah,
It's just
my
the
face
different
is
moods of
everywhere.
world.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And that one of me wiring a robot up, that gets around as well.
Oh, we
All
also
guest
got
hosts, yes.
the photos back from Jose from the Swuggan Summit. So we have like all of the group leaders
Very
together,
nice.
which is great. So we
There
can
should be an
finally
episode.
update the swuggan.org headshot. That one's a little outdated. See if I can find one.
Yeah, there's your episode. So we called it the essence of the hallway hangouts because we were sipping whiskey with one guy, and Jay turned up and we were chatting, and then you turned up and we were chatting. It was kind of that essence of when you are hanging out in the hallways, kind of everybody's coming in and out, and you just having interesting conversations. It was the one footage that I really felt like encapsulates what hanging out in the hallways is like.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, guys. I think your whole setup and your natural kind of energy just attracts people in there, and they get comfortable quick, and they just want to sit down and chat with you. That was never more evident than when Mike Puckett sat down with you and was, we'll just say, having a great old time on the PA. Kirby, you had to get up and unplug the PA so it wasn't blasting out to the conference center. That was awesome. You also introduced me to Liquid Death, which I didn't know was a thing, and now I have since seen it. Like, maybe I never actually realized that was just water before.
Yeah, you just glossed over it because you thought it was beer.
Or like an energy drink or something, and now
it's just water,
it's
Yeah.
just water.
and I'm just thinking that this is no brand.
Boring old water.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed giving it to Dasso's staff.
Yeah.
Because I know
Watching
at some
them
point
go,
they had to describe to someone,
Yeah.
this is just water, okay?
Just water. Promise it's just water.
They just
great time,
introduced
guys.
tea. I know we got tea from someone, Johnny.
Matt, Dr. Dashboard, Matthew Hall.
Oh, he brought tea?
Yeah. They brought us like a hangover tea.
Hangover cure. It's called Hungover to Fuck Green Tea.
Wow. That's quite the title. He's great. He always brings down magical beers from Vermont. Vermont is one of and Sal, I'm sure you've been up there a million times. It's one of the nicest places I've ever been. It is a beautiful state for sure.
I'm sure you got us beers from there as well.
Yeah, I think I've got them downstairs somewhere.
Did the Eagle Rare survive?
Yeah, it's up on my shelf of shit.
Shelf of shit.
Shelf of shit. Well, my helmet survived. It's up there on my shelf of shit.
Yeah. Where's your two
Sick.
shelves of shit?
They're right
Downstairs.
I definitely have a shelf of shit
See?
over that way.
See? Everyone has one.
I keep this area clean and
Yep.
this area completely messy.
Yeah, I just shove it in there.
Yeah, you've got too much shit.
Uh,
And we found
Chris White was kind enough to bring me a bottle of Canadian whiskey from Canada, and it survived. I wrapped it in 2 sweatshirts and put it in my check bag, and it survived. So
all the hot sauces. I put them in dirty socks. individually.
to confuse the bloodhounds. Is that?
Yeah.
And then I put that in the SolidWorks bag, the one that was waterproof. So I knew if something broke, it'll stay in there.
Yeah.
Then
That
I
was
had
an
to
awesome
shove-
bag, huh? Sorry.
Yeah, nice bags.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a cool bag.
Possibly my favorite yet.
yeah.
I like that it was different
My,
too.
my wife begs to differ. She says
Yeah,
now I have a
there you
problem.
go.
I have a problem with jackets now as well.
Well, how many of us are actually going to use it for what it's intended for? Like
No.
hiking in the rain or river rafting.
Yeah. no,
you
not
know
me.
what? You know what the biggest problem with the SolidWorks bags that we get? They're too good. They last way too long, and that's
Yeah.
how you end up with such a big backlog.
I agree.
I've still got my first one, and it's my daily, and it survives everything.
It's your daily. It's your
Yeah,
daily
it's
driver.
my daily rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've of all the ones I've been to World since 2017. 2016, I got my first one that was sent to me from Rachel, and that was the first bag I used. I had that until 2020. I had that for 4 years, and then I switched to my 2020 bag when I got that, and that's still going strong for 3 years. Like barely a dent in it.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I gotta go get my son off the bus here any moment. Any final thoughts or takeaways here, or questions for World next year?
What did you take away from World that is really going to kind of impact the way you carry on for the next year until World? What did you get inspired by?
I got inspired by I don't want to call it like the larger gathering of people, but something I definitely noticed last year, and I felt like I confirmed it at World, is I think we get more bang for our buck if we put some resources into getting these summits or larger events back together. And it's something kind of magic happens, I think, when we get all those people in one spot, because then everybody leaves and spreads that wherever else they go, right? Back to all their
You get
home
infected.
groups. They get infected, yeah. That's a great way to look at it. I
In a
want to
good way.
infect more people.
Right, straight off the pandemic, like let's get infected together.
Yeah, let's get infected together. I'm really focusing on that this year. Kirby, we were talking about that earlier today. Like, obviously, putting together a UK committee, UK regional meeting or a UK summit, but we want to do a bunch of those. Like, we're working on one, believe it or not, in Puerto Rico as like a Caribbean summit,
Nice.
because we have a couple user groups and a bunch of people down there, and it's going to be, hope I'm not giving away the whole spiel here, but a Spanish only event, so we can really tailor that towards all of our Spanish groups and everybody. So
That's cool.
that's
I mean,
that's one of my biggest takeaways, is I'm putting a lot of focus into quality, awesome events
yeah.
this year.
I mean, like Johnny and I really like rum.
I also love rum. Yeah.
Wait,
I
so
was
how
in-
long? Sorry,
ahead,
how long do we have to brush up on our Spanish? When is this? happening?
Probably 4 weeks ish.
Oh man.
For me, brushing up would mean learning from scratch, so I probably won't be there. But when I was in Vermont this past weekend, not to keep referencing that, but I had a dark and stormy. You guys ever had a dark and stormy before?
No,
It's
sounds like the
rum.
weather.
It's
Probably.
rum. Yeah, it's rum and ginger beer, and it's
Yes,
really good. Like,
nice.
super, super, super good.
Mm.
So I highly recommend that.
Interesting. I should
All
give
right,
that a
folks,
try.
I got to run, unfortunately, but it was awesome to chat with you guys as always.
Dan,
been an
It's
honor.
always fantastic, and I can't
See
wait
you,
to hang out
Dan.
with more.
Yes, I will see you this year. That is on my honor. I pledge to be there to infect you with whatever it is that I have. Is
I
that
can't
good?
wait.
You should have left 30 seconds ago, Dan.
No, I pledge to see you guys this year. I will be there in the UK, or we'll do something. It's gonna be awesome.
It'll be good fun. We'll make it fun.
Yeah.
It'll be us.
All right, I'm gonna get my son off the bus before he sleepwalks and ends up at a neighbor's house or something.
All
right.
Have a good one, Dan. Thank
you,
you for
Dan.
joining us.
See you.
I too, guys. I should have left a half hour ago when Chinlu left, but it was too much fun. So
She'll catch you up. That's fine.
yeah, or she'll yell at me. Where the heck were you?
So thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
It's been awesome hearing your stories from World, and I'm looking forward to seeing more content coming from you. I see Minish is challenged
Yeah.
more
yeah,
people
we-
to make
we're sup-
modifications to their workshop.
Yeah. Yeah. We're supposed to start smack talking one another now. Like, see what I made, Kirby? Why haven't you made something lately?
Well, I don't have a workshop.
But Santiago said he can help. I don't know what that means, but take him up on it, you know?
Yeah. As in, I can just use his workshop.
Yeah, he'll send him files and he'll machine stuff and ship it across the pond.
I can make that a user group thing as well.
Yeah. Now you're thinking.
Outside of the cube.
All right, gentlemen. It's been great.
Thank you very
We'll
much for
chat soon.
joining us, Sal.
All right. Take care.
Excellent. I think, Johnny, I'll ask you, what infected you at World this year? Can't hear you. So I feel like this is something that Johnny does every episode. He somehow messes up his mic settings. Is it not muted on the actual mic or in your software? Currently, you're muted in the... I'm very late, but I'm here, guys. Brandon, how you doing? Johnny just ran into some technical issues with his mic again. It's been a good episode. It's been fantastic, Brandon. I'm sure you should give it a listen back. And those that have come in late, you should give it a listen back because have you tried your settings? Can you hear me? Have you tried plugging in it? Unplug it and plug it back in. Where did you find the second chin? It was buried under my beard.
I'm back.
There he is. I forgot
unplugged
you
it. I should
shake.
get a job in IT.
Should get a job.
A job.
Yeah, it's growing back. It'll grow back. Anyway, what infected you, Johnny, at World?
I told you, did you not hear?
No,
Well,
I must have been
having our
daydreaming.
own space for the first time. I think
Actually-
it shows what
actually-
we can do.
Yeah, actually doing guested podcast together. I was going to say something, but I forgot it.
Was it ourselves?
Yes. So what infected me at World this year?
Go for it.
Bridges.
Bridges and balconies.
Bridges and balconies.
All the bees.
No, it's just the sense of kind of being a part. It was the first time that I feel like the podcast was properly validated and felt like a core part
Yep.
of
Nice-
the
nice work
community.
there. I see what you've done.
It's like we planned this whole thing.
Yeah, that's exactly why it's called that.
No, it was the first time that felt like what we're doing is actually making a difference and helping people and connecting people.
Yeah. It was good fun. I enjoyed it very much, and I can't wait to do it next year.
Yes. The side is going right through me. You had this as well.
Yeah, it was. I'm not a fan of cherries, but it was drinkable. But so is most things.
Copperberg is where it's at.
Agreed.
It tastes a bit too cidery, but it's nice. I
Tangy
might leave the other one for summer.
for summer. Jesus, 6 months later.
I mean, we're not that far. Third month of the year.
Back to England. You don't know when it's going to land.
Apparently, I saw one of those like biggest snowstorm coming to England.
Yeah.
Yeah, usual bullshit.
Believe it when you see it.
Yes. You're rested
Well-
now, back from World. You recovered from your jet lag.
Wasn't bad actually. Wasn't too bad. First morning, my alarm went off at like 6:10, and I thought it was about 1:00 in the morning. But then
I was
it
fine.
quickly sorted itself.
I was fine for a day or two, and then
Then
my
it
body
hit.
was just like,
No, mine
So-
was, the first day was tough, and then every day after that was all right.
yeah. So instead of resting on the weekend, I played video games all night.
Nice.
I got into more role play.
Great. Very weird as per usual. But
Yeah.
nah, whatever floats your roleplay boat.
It does, and it floats very well. Actually, it's more of a tractor now than a boat.
Are you on the farming, eh?
We're farmers now.
Nice.
Yeah. How's work been?
It's all right. Ticking
Did
along.
everything fall apart while you were away like it did with me?
No, wasn't too bad actually. I came back to just a few problems, nothing too major. Sounds like yours was a nightmare, but you know.
It
life.
still is. I'm still trying to fix things.
Yeah, well, dude, I've been trying for 2 years. It never ends. Never ever.
No, but that's fantastic. I think this is a really good place to wrap this one up.
Very much.
It's been a good conversation. I've enjoyed hearing people's stories and what they got out of World.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we got loads of alcohol out of World.
Yeah. I need to send you some of that down.
I cannot wait to try that stuff.
Mm.
Unless we save it for when Dan comes.
Oh, that would be good. Or at least
Adios.
save some.
Thank you very much for joining us,
Thanks,
Matthew.
Matt.
No, this has been
Roll
fantastic.
them
And it's
socials.
it's good to be back. Check, I'm wearing my thingy. I've been wearing it every day, Johnny.
I've got a SolidWorks one today.
Oh,
sorry.
nice. Have a good
I
evening.
don't buy
all.
t-shirts
Thanks, Brad.
anymore.
You don't need to. You just get them for free at World. Reason 32 for going to World. No,
Nope, wrong one.
there it is.
There
It's
it
our
is.
faces back. I still prefer this one though. If you want to follow me, I'm
Come on.
at KJ Designs 365.
At Kessel and Creation.
If you want to follow us on the podcast, see when our next episodes come live and when the episodes from the hallways come out. You can follow us on Instagram. It's at the Core Podcast. Our contact on Facebook. We are the Core Podcast with those 0. Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. We are at the Core Podcast. We need to get those other ones sorted. Give us a follow. See when we go live. See when the next episodes come out. See when we get together.
Boom.
Have a good one. Thank you very much for everybody for joining us tonight. It's been a great episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one. The button is somewhere. Beep.